Hi, Georg.
Hi Nessa, good to see you.
Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. It's already 2025, already 7 days in. How are things going on your end?
Going well. Just booked my flights for our company retreat that is scheduled for the last week of January. We're pretty excited.
Where are you going if you can share?
Yes, so a lot of our team members are based in Austin, Texas, so it was a natural place to gather. And I missed it last year, so this is could be my second, but will be first retreat with Open Teams. I was in at FOSDEM, by the way. I was at FOSDEM last year and
Yeah.
couldn't make it. Um, yes. So Austin, unfortunately, where I live, there is no direct flight. So even though it's like south, have to take two flights to get there.
Mm, that's unfortunate. Direct flights are so much easier. Mm,
I saw Dan Katz and Sean were active on Slack. I was hoping they would join as well.
yeah.
I see now a comment from Josh Barron. Okay. And Sean. I'll see if they will join.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Um, I don't know. Sean was, in the CHAOSS committee, he commented earlier.
Are
Mhm.
you active in all the working groups for chaos?
No, that is way too much. No, I try to go to the main one, the community one, as much as I can, and then I join all the others occasionally. I used to facilitate one, but we closed that because there was not enough activity. And then, yeah, I just show up every now and then.
I see. Did you have a certain topic on your mind to discuss for this group?
No, I did not. I just wanted to see what is being discussed here as the new year kicks off.
Yes, it's been a little slow for us as well for various reasons. I would say like in the last quarter of the year, it's been really slow. Yes, and we just changed. Well, not this is our second meeting in the new time slot, new week. I mean, new day, new time slot, and seem to be working for everybody. But you know, it's an interesting week because it's first full week of the new year, and some people are returning to work just now, starting Monday, and catching up on other work. And since, as far as I can tell, nobody is funded to work directly on anything that is the objective of this working group, it's
Mhm.
a bit um, unstructured and definitely fluctuating in attendance numbers.
Yeah. Was there something you were hoping to advance in this working group?
Well, we had a plan to have a little more people on the call and discuss what we're interested in. Because we had a plan when we started this group
Mhm.
about, I would say, was it 2022? And then it kind of we did a bit of progress. We started working on this model, but then we realized that there was a big overlap with already existing models. So eventually, um, this new model, work on the new model came to a long pause. And yes, and frankly, I'm not sure if we want to pick up or we want to focus on anything else, or maybe we want to um, collaborate closer with an academic group. I know, you know, there are definitely differences between
Mhm.
the two groups, but if the group is small, those who are interested, I think there is a lot of uh, overlap between the objectives. So we could do that. So that was my agenda for this
To
meeting.
find out what everyone wanted to do today and the next months. Okay.
Yes. Like we had mm, a good engagement with the group, mainly with Joe from OSI. It's an initiative funded by IBM, and NumFocus is a fiscal sponsor.
Hmm.
Um, are you familiar
The
with the
map
initiative?
of open source.
Yes, exactly. That's the project. Yes, and now they're pushing this new initiative, AI and science. Um, there's definitely a lot of overlap, but they are trying to map it out and identify like super contributors, whereas CHAOSS is focusing on health metrics, open
Yeah.
source health metrics. Um, and
So
then
the,
Dex has been joining as well, then Katz.
yeah. So one thing that we are, or that Jonathan is moving towards is to have a workshop later this year. Are you involved in that conversation?
You're talking about Jonathan Starr?
Yeah.
Okay. I am on Slack and I'm not closely following it.
Okay.
I'm definitely not one of the organizers. I am far more involved with NumFocus, and because OSI is a initiative uh, within the NumFocus community, I read most of his updates on the NumFocus Slack.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he is pulling together people, and I think he's at a stage for looking for funding to host workshop similar to what the Jen Zuckerberg initiative had done, looking at impact. Um, and so he wants to replicate this, getting people together, having a hackathon kind of event. Um, so it's moving forward, still early stages.
Are you one of the co-organizers?
Um, I wouldn't call myself a co-organizer. I'm on the discussions and I shared some thoughts on what I'm interested in and how we could do this, but I'm not leading anything or moving anything forward. That Jonathan does all that.
I see. Jonathan is very good at organizing. I admire his energy in taking up on so many events, and you can call it all events really, uh,
Yeah.
workshops, tutorials, uh, meetups. Yes, and it's really nice to see uh, this energy within the NumFocus community. I will be paying close attention to AI in science because of the new direction for open teams, and I hope to get involved in some capacity. We have a meeting scheduled, first meeting scheduled in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. So I'm curious to see where what your what open teams and what you will be doing in that space.
Are you implementing AI, any kind of machine learning, into Biturgia products?
No, we're not. It's
Is it by design or?
we haven't, well, one, we don't have anyone that is really knowledgeable to do it. And two, any thoughts we have around it is we haven't quite figured out a useful application. There are some ideas, but how to actually make that happen, no idea. So there's, of course, one idea to use AI on the data and help identify trends and what certain things mean. But we would need someone who is really good at AI. And right now, our thinking is we are good at getting the right data and getting the data in a good state that you could do the training. And then we would be rather looking to partner with someone who is good on the AI part. Um, so that's on the data side. We were thinking about using AI for documentation that, hey, how do I look up something on the dashboard and the metrics? What are the commands to use and so on? Because that's also where with like Copilot and so on, that seems to work really well. But again, we don't have anyone to work on that.
You definitely need to have a good understanding why you're implementing your AI before doing it. So it's, I mean, like all the questions and reservations that you have are valid and commendable. I also suggest if you are considering implement any kind of advanced automation to your documentation, look into RAGs, retrieval augmented generation, which
Yeah.
is like uh, less celebrated machine learning solution, but for documentation, it's better, especially if you're working with a custom model. I I focused more on the project that I told you about at the last meeting. But the year before, my first year was Open Teams, I did a lot of consulting, and we built RAG models for companies who have their custom models built either by our team or their internal team, and then basically, if you want a lot of control over the data, like know exactly where it came and where it's going, RAGs are a good solution. And also, I personally like see a huge difference when it comes to documentation, internal documentation, or uh, the quality of documentation in general between large models, LLM models, and RAG models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
this is something you could talk about. I'm not sure if you heard back from Braden, but
what did
Braden, he picked up the project from our previous VP of engineering. So it's not the only project he's working on. And he is actually CEO of Open Teams Incubator. So you can talk to him about, fundraising and pretty much anything that's on your mind, including if you're interested to hire consultants outside consultants. He could be a good person to talk about it as well.
Mhm. I for hiring outside consultants, you mean someone who would be able to help us with the AI stuff?
Yes, like QuantSight, which is our direct partner, like Open Teams direct partner, I think the largest dev consultancy we're working with. Their specialty is AI, and that's why we take in the direction of AI. We are getting even closer. We're also going to attract other dev teams, but QuantSight has an extensive expertise in AI and machine learning. Uh, we've completed quite a few large projects for NASA and Department of Defense, NSF. So a lot of expertise and also smaller projects. As a matter of fact, the projects I worked on, we contracted quant site developers as machine learning.
Hi, Mary
engineers.
Blessing.
Hi, Mary Blessing.
Yeah, that's a good pointer. I had not looked at rack before. Thank you. I'll take a look, and then when I hear back from Braden, I'll ask him about it. So yeah, bummer that you won't be at FOSDEM this year.
I do have a FOMO. I no doubt about it. It might be funny for people who live in the north, but I was looking forward to like this like gray sky. Is that like the past 2 years when I went to Brussels, it wasn't sunny. I think we got maybe one day of sun, but it was just fine. It was just cold enough, and it's beautiful. And of course, the vibe of the conference
Yeah,
uh, is incredible.
yeah, it always is.
And I don't see any more conversations on Slack, and we are
Yeah.
almost 20 minutes into it, so I'm not sure if uh, we have the folks, Josh and Sean, join. We're listen, I'm not sure if we met before.
Mary Blessing, are you able to unmute and speak, or not today? Mary Blessing has been in the Chaos project for a very long time and is super helpful in many different areas.
I see Mary Blessing. It's nice to meet you. I see your name on Slack, and I see that you're very active. I through my work with the Posse program, I work with a lot of interns from Africa, and I hear a lot of um, feedback about the infrastructure challenges that engineers in Africa are facing. It's hard if you don't have
Mhm.
reliable internet or electricity, you cannot do your work.
Yeah. Yeah. For the posse, you have, when I was looking at the website, it's most of the references are from students that have gone through who come from Africa.
Our I would say at this point about 75%, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one solution. So yes, we have some from Latin America as well, from Argentina, Mexico. Let's see, from Portugal,
Mhm.
and I think that's all. And yes, quite a few interns came from Africa, and we do cover this conversation about infrastructure. Luckily, because of our partnership with BYU Pathway, they have an accommodation for students where they have access to reliable internet and electricity. I mean, as reliable as it can be in the country of their residents.
Right.
And some countries have like, just more stable, and then some, it fluctuates. Um, through the facilities that they have. So students, our interns have to go to the uh, shared workspace to
Mhm.
have access, but at least they have this option. For example, we had one intern from Cote d'Ivoire who had a reliable internet until he didn't, and it was
Yeah.
something with the underwater cables. I didn't even know the whole connection, but apparently that's
Yeah, it's rather frustrating because there's nothing you can do when the infrastructure is not there.
right. And
Yeah.
the Merit lesson, absolutely. I will send you a link to my calendar, and I would love to to speak about the work that we do as POS interns.
Yeah, Mary Blessing. You should talk with Inessa. Did you hear back from Thunderbird?
Yes, as a matter of fact, thank you for asking. This morning I got
Oh,
a invitation to a meeting with Monica. We're meeting next week, sometime next week, next Friday, I think.
excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited. I started looking into Thunderbird code base because I've I've never had an opportunity to look closely, and they're not on GitHub. They're on Mercurial, which is
Uh-huh.
like all I know about it that it exists. So it'll be quite interesting. But like I did it just some research seems to be very similar. So um, should be possible. A learning curve is possible to overcome.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. If you can help them, that would be fantastic. And if they can be an organization that your interns work with, I think that would be a really good collaboration.
I'm looking forward to the conversation. I have some connections with Mozilla through their data science team,
Hmm.
but it's completely different, and this will be. It sounds like a very interesting collaboration. So thank
Yeah,
you so much for connecting us.
yeah, you're welcome. We recently finished a project with them and have published a blog post, which I'm happy to share because they did a really good job showing their community, hey, here's what we're doing with the data. Um, Here it's on the Thunderbird blog. So that's how I have the connection. And I know Monica was on the CHAOSS podcast a couple times. So I have known her for a while now.
Oh, very cool. I'll give it a listen now. I usually listen to podcasts.
Excellent. Well, I agree with your assessment that I don't think anyone else is going to show up.
Okay, well, we'll keep it shorter then. Mary Blessing, I will follow up with you on setting up a meeting via Slack. That way you have a link after this meeting ends. And Georg, thank you so much for the link to the blog post. I already opened the window, so then I can read it after we finish. Well, it
Yeah.
was great to catch up, and I hope you all have a great year ahead. And hopefully, in 2 weeks, we will have a bigger crowd.
Yep, likewise. I will probably not be here in 2 weeks. I'll be traveling. I'm already going to Europe a week, well, 2 weeks before FOSDEM to see family and friends and
Safe
go.
travel, enjoy it. I'm missing out. It's a good time to travel to Europe.
It is, yeah. If the travel isn't interrupted, I hope that by then all the travel is back to normal. Yeah. All right. Well, take care. Good to see you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.